Welcome back to the KDPG Sunday Edition. We're talking about a report recently released by A+ Schools, which shows a number of inequalities in the academic performance of students in different neighborhoods within the Pittsburgh Public School District. Joining us now is a man who has seen the importance of public education in many ways. Salah Uddin is a former member of Pittsburgh City Council, just elected to the Pittsburgh School Board from District 3 in the Hill District. He's the former president and CEO of the Coro Center for Civic Leadership in Pittsburgh, among many other hats that you have worn over the years. Welcome. It's a pleasure to have you.
Thank you. It's always good to be here.
So what made you want to run for school board?
Well, it was taking a deeper dive at what is going on in my neighborhood where I live and whether or not we're preparing the children in public schools for the future. And what I saw was frightening and troubling, and I decided that a major change is going to have to be made. We're going to have to shake this system of education up. It's not enough to talk about the few models of success that are making small improvements. That's one way of looking at it. But if there are a lot of children being left behind, if 90% of the children at grade 3 are not proficient in reading or not proficient in math, or 80%, those are numbers that are just completely unacceptable. We can't sit back and let that go on. So I decided something has to be done, and so I'm not quite finished yet.
So what's your first idea when you're at your first board meeting as a member? What's the first thing you're going to propose to be that is done differently?
I want to raise the standards. Mike Tomlin often talks about the standard is the standard, whoever comes to play. I want to raise the standards and expectations, not just for black students. I think that the standards for white students in the public school system is too low. I think that we have to look higher at what the needs are of the future, what are going to be the workforce needs of the future, and aim to achieve those levels of success and not just compare whether or not black students are succeeding against a median of white students. But that's an important measurement. It's an important measurement. So I want everybody to be excited about creating a new public school system that provides a high quality education for all students, and we don't have these uneven levels of performance and success.
In the last segment, we talked about the success of one of the magnet schools, Allegheny K-5 on the north side. Let's take a look at one of the schools, some statistics for one of the schools in your district, Miller Academy. And you see proficiency levels in these 3 subjects. So if you look at the top column going across, math, 9% of students in 2015 were proficient in math, and it's only gone down since then. You talk about the future workforce in Pittsburgh and what the needs are going to be. That's frightening.
It is frightening. And for a lot of the kids in my district, if we don't prepare them with a quality education, it's just not a statistical misfortune. It's a matter of life and death. Many of them, if they will be spit out by the economic system. They will not be able to attain jobs in the future. They will be absorbed by either the social service system or the criminal justice system, and their lives will not be enhanced. Our job as adults in the system, the school system, is to prepare them for success. And we cannot be casual about 90% of the children at 3rd grade not being able to read. We have to be hair on fire. And that's why I decided to get up and go join the school board.
Is it about money? Is it, I mean, the school board allocates money, and do these schools need more funding? Is that a big part of it?
That is a big part of it, but I don't think that it is the primary reason why schools are failing. The question is, how do we use the money And how good are we at making certain that the best personnel, the most talented personnel in the system, are in front of the children who need them most every day? And so we're going to have to change the way we do things. The parents are going to have to change. The principals are going to have to change. The teachers and their teachers union is going to have to change. We're all going to have to change because the results that we're getting are unacceptable.
Yeah, when you bring in the parents, then we're bringing in children are arriving at kindergarten at various levels of preparation, just as the principal said. Some are, from homes where they've been reading and doing well. Does pre-K, or rather preschool education have a lot to do with it? That may not be under your purview.
It's very important, and it needs to be under our purview.
Yeah.
But it's too late.
Yeah.
Preschool is
Right.
too late.
Right. Well, preschool.
We've got to start at age 0.
Yes.
And create a conveyor belt of seamless services from 0 all the way to post-high school. That's what we've got to provide for these children. If they arrive at kindergarten unprepared to be successful in kindergarten, you cannot expect any different results when they go into Miller African-Centered Academy. They arrived unprepared. We've got to start at 0.
So where do you start with that? I mean, you're talking
Parents.
about... Okay.
Yeah.
What's your message to parents? Because this is not a new problem. It's not unique to Pittsburgh. It's happening in every city.
We need a new commitment. We need a brand new approach to educating our children. Parents, we're going to have to agree to more time on task, less PlayStation, less televisions. We're going to have to spend more time studying after school and weekends.
Nobody disagrees with that, but I mean,
but we're not doing it.
We should also eat more vegetables and less pizza, right? I mean, but how do you make the change happen? I get what you're saying. Everybody understands what's good and what's not so good for young people, but how do you make it happen?
I think it's leadership. I think the school district has not had the kind of focus on engaging and involving parents that we need to. We can't do this without the parents. And the parents want the most for their children. I know that. I talk to them. They do want successful results. But we have got to challenge them and equip them with what they need to be able to change the outcome in these schools. They have to look at those statistics that we just looked at a particular school, any particular school, and say to the leaders in the school, say to the superintendent, say to the teachers, we've got to sit down and figure out how we're going to do this differently, because these results will not stand. If we get the same results next year that we've gotten for the last 3 years, some heads are going to have to roll.
We're almost out of time. I regret our time is so short, but in your experience visiting the schools in your district, how would you describe the atmosphere? Is it safe? Is it nurturing? Is it positive?
It is all of those, except that it is not as successful academically as we need them to be. And they need and deserve our support at the school district, at the school board level, and everybody's going to have to get involved. The politicians, the foundations, the corporations, the parents, we're all going to have to be all in.
Sounds like a supercharged, it takes a village to raise a child, but maybe that's that's yesterday's phrase.
No, that's valid. It takes us all. We all have a vested interest in success. We will not be successful in the future with grades like we saw on that graph that we just showed.
Well, you have a very high profile coming into this job. Do you see yourself as the best possible vehicle to spread that message?
Of course not. I thought I was retired. But it just takes whoever's willing to stand up and raise the standard, raise the flag for we can do better. We have to do better. And if someone else comes along who can do it, I hope they will. I'm tired.
Well, we wish you the best. And we wish you energy and all
I'm gonna need
everything
it.
you're going to need.
There's a crazy mocha out in the lobby here.
Take a break. Back with the final thought.
Thank you.
In just a moment.